I am Dr. Jesse John, Assistant Professor, Department of Anatomy, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. And today we will discuss anatomy of the ureter. हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया. Namaste. First we will introduce the ureter. Ureter is a narrow, thick-walled, extensile muscular tube, and it will convey urine from kidney to the urinary bladder, and urine is propelled from the kidney to the urinary bladder by the peristaltic contractions of the smooth muscles of the wall of the ureter. And we will measurement of the ureter we will see that is 25 centimeter in length, and we will see in 10 inches also if you go for inches, and there will be diameter of the tube will be 3 millimeter. Now we will see the course in the abdominal part. The ureter begins as a downward continuation of the funnel-shaped renal pelvis at the medial margin of the lower end of the kidney. The ureter passes downward and slides medially on psoas major, which separates it from the transverse processes of the lumbar vertebrae. Then it will enter the pelvic cavity by crossing in front of the bifurcation of the common iliac artery at the pelvic brim in front of the sacroiliac joint. Now we'll see the course that will present in the pelvis. In the pelvis, the ureter first run downward, then backward, then laterally along the anterior margin of the greater sciatic notch. Opposite to the ischial spine, it turns forward and medially to reach the base of the urinary bladder, where it enters the bladder wall obliquely. Within the bladder wall, it narrows down, takes a sinus course, and opens into the cavity of the bladder at the lateral angle of its trigone as ureteric orifice. Now we will see the parts of the ureter and the relation of it. Ureter is generally divided into two parts, that is the abdominal part and pelvic. We have discussed the courses of the abdominal ureter and the pelvic ureter earlier. Each part is about the same length, that could be 12.5 centimeter or 5 inches. The abdominal part of the ureter extends from the renal pelvis to the bifurcation of the common iliac artery. The pelvic part of the ureter extends from the pelvic brim to the base of the urinary bladder. Now we'll see the relation of the abdominal part. Right ureter anterior relation will be the second part of the duodenum, and the right colic vessels, ileocolic vessels, and right testicular or ovarian vessels and root of the mesentery. And posterior relation will be the right psoas major, bifurcation of the right common iliac artery. On left ureter, we will see the left colic vessels, sigmoid vessels, left testicular or ovarian vessels, sigmoid mesocolon, and posterior relation of the left ureter will be the left psoas major and bifurcation of the left common iliac artery. Medially, the right ureter is related to inferior vena cava, and left ureter is related to left gonadal vein and inferior mesenteric vein. So we can see in this picture the relation of the ureter in abdominal part. Now we will see the relation of the pelvic part. The pelvic part of the ureter crosses in front of all the nerves and vessels on the lateral pelvic wall except vas deferens, which crosses in front of it. Near the uterine cervix, the uterine artery lies above and in front of it, a highly important surgical relationship. Now we will see the sites of anatomical constrictions. The lumen of ureter is not uniform throughout and presents three constriction at the following sites. At the pelviureteric junction, where the renal pelvis joins the upper end of the ureter. It is the uppermost constriction found approximately 5 centimeter away from the hilum of the kidney. At the pelvic brim where it crosses the common iliac artery, the second constriction we can see the pelvic brim where it crosses the common iliac artery. And third we will see at the ureterovesical junction where ureter enters into the bladder. In addition to about three sites of the constriction, two more sites of constriction are described by the surgeons. These are the constriction that present at juxta position of the vas deferens or the broad ligament and the constriction at the uretary orifice. So these are the constrictions that our surgeons uh, suggested it. Now we will see the arterial supply. The ureter derives its arterial supply from the branches of all the arteries related to it. The important arteries supplying ureter from above downwards are renal artery, testicular or ovarian artery, direct branches from the aorta, and internal iliac artery, vesical artery, and middle rectal artery and uterine artery. Now we will see the venous drainage. Venous blood from the ureter is drained into the veins corresponding to the arteries, and lymphatic drainage. Lymph from the ureter is drained into the lateral aortic and iliac nodes. And now supply, the sympathetic supply of the ureter is derived from T12 L1 spinal segment through renal, aortic, and hypogastric plexus. The parasympathetic supply of the ureter is derived from S2, S3, S4 spinal segment through pelvic splenic nerve. The afferent fibers travel with both sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves. Now we'll see the clinical correlation, mobilization of the ureter. Branches of the arteries supplying the ureter form an anastomosis in the fat and fascia around the ureter. Therefore, surgeons should bear in their mind that stripping of this fascia while mobilizing the ureter for transplantation will hamper the blood supply of the ureter and cause necrosis. Now we'll see how the identification of ureter can be done. The ureter is a muscular structure, and in life, waves of muscular contraction produce a worm-like rhythmic movement, thus milking urine towards the bladder. The ureter is readily identified in life by its thick muscular wall, which is seen to undergo worm-like rhythmic movements, especially when it is gently stroked and squeezed. Uretary calculus, that is more common important clinical pathology of the ureter. It is likely to lodge at one of the sites of anatomical constriction of the ureter, particularly at the pelvic uterine junction, and when it crosses the pelvic brim and in the intramural part, that is the narrowest part of the ureter. Injury to ureter. According to Kansan and Hinman, the ureter may be injured at one of the following four dangerous sites: point where the ureter crosses the iliac vessels, and in the ovarian fossa, and where the ureter is crossed by the uterine artery, as damage is likely at this site during the hysterectomy at the base of the bladder. Now you can see there are some assessment questions. These are the explain anatomy of the ureter. And second question is the explain clinical anatomy of the ureter. We have to explain all these questions in brief and it possibly in detail. Thank you so much.